Yo, yo, how's it going?
Yep, I'm good. You?
Not too
I've
bad,
seen
man.
that you're sick.
What's up?
I've seen that you're sick.
Yeah, I am. It is what it is. Feel a little bit better today.
Yeah. Hope you're getting better.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. I'm gonna go and share my screen with you. So,
Yeah,
um,
sure.
yeah, so you're a offlane player, about 3K
Yes.
MMR. You're
Yeah.
looking at when to leave lane, when do I join my cores, where should I be heading based on the game state, like which lane, and how do I know I'm
Yes.
strong enough? So it looks like you have
Yeah.
two DK replays that you submitted. Is this a hero you're playing a lot?
Yeah. Yeah. Mainly I play DK, X, and Mars.
Okay. Next, Mars. Okay.
But yeah.
What is your general thoughts on like the facet for DK?
I think that the facet wise, if you're playing offlane, it's good to go green because you can push towers.
Yeah.
But if you are against like morph or some like heroes that can reach like can regen, so I guess you go blue.
Yeah, I think Morph specifically for me is the only hero I go blue. Um,
Mm,
I don't think
which
it.
is morph, right?
Yeah, it's
Right.
pretty much just Morph. For me
Mhm.
personally.
Okay.
And then I don't want to say that's like 100%, but right now at least that's how I feel. And then I think red is really nice against PL and
Okay.
TB perhaps. Um, and I guess Naga, but she's never really picked. So generally illusion heroes, I guess. The AoE stun and the magic damage is really nice, I've found.
Mhm.
Um, that's just thoughts. I was curious about yours. Um,
Okay.
okay, so answering your questions, is your concern for this session more general speaking, or do you want more focus on DK particularly because you only have three
No, no.
heroes that you're playing?
Actually, I want you to like guide me on like generally like macro wise, like based on every hero I play, like what should I do like in the mid game and like post laning stage and stuff like that.
Okay, so what the way I can look at that then, since you gave me two replays of the same hero, what I can do is I'm going to talk about what I feel like you're doing wrong or missing, and questions you can ask yourself to apply to like every game. There's going to be a different answer to
Yes.
the question when it comes to like Axe, DK, and Mars, and maybe feel free to be like, how does this question apply to Mars? If you want to ask that question, that's fine. If you feel like it's
Yes.
not straightforward, but that's what I'm going to try to do today. Is like I'm going to try to arm you with a few questions that I feel like you're not asking. Hopefully to enhance your understanding of the questions that you have, which is when do I leave lane, when do I join my cores, where do I go on the map, and how do I know that I'm strong enough? I think these are all like very
Hmm.
general questions. I
Yep.
think leave lane is more specific than the others, but like how do I know I'm strong enough? There's a lot that goes into that. So
Hmm.
we're just gonna we're just gonna go one by one and we'll see how it goes. Sound
Okay.
good?
Sure.
Cool.
Good.
Yeah. So do you want me to talk to very much about your laning phase, or would you rather I kind of skip to like 5 minutes?
I think it's fine. I think we can go with a short laning phase,
Okay.
then we can go to mid game.
Sure. I'll look for like one core
Because I
thing that
think
I.
I think
Yeah.
I think in the in I think because I think in the laning phase there's things for me to improve on as well. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look for like one core thing for you to that I feel like is your worst part of your game on lane. That's what I'll do, and then I'll kind of fast forward past it. Okay. 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 So far, your laning looks pretty good. Interestingly enough, I think the biggest thing for me is I wouldn't even go Bracer in this lane because Wraith King
Uh,
doesn't really harass very much, and neither does Lion. Like these heroes aren't very like it's not like Jakiro or something
right.
like that 5. So for me, I would have just gone straight treads. What I feel like's happening in the lane is you're predominantly hitting creeps. So like for me,
Yep.
like what's happening is I recognize that your clock is like not doing anything. Like, did you get that
Yeah.
vibe?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
he, like
Yeah. Kind of.
I've watched you lane, and you're CSing with no 4. That's what I've been witnessing so far. So like the bracer is, I'm intending to trade back and forth, and like I'm literally bracing myself for a lot of fighting. And so what happens is I start this lane, and I'm just going to observe, what are you doing? Like literally mechanically, right? Like what are you doing? I want you to describe to me what you're doing.
What am I doing?
Yeah, like
And then,
mechanically.
okay, I'm just like trying to last hit creeps,
Yeah.
like, and just pulling the creep aggro
Yeah.
and uh, just
Everything you're
just trying
doing
to.
is defensive aggro
Mm,
and CSing, right? That's literally everything you've
yes,
done so far.
yes, correct.
So does Bracer help me do that?
No.
These are the type of like a great question for you and lanes, because the reason why I'm starting with this sort of question, it's kind of a
Mhm,
theoretical question. I generally like what you're doing in the lane. So I don't
mhm,
have any like glaring, you really don't know how to do this, you're really fucking this part up. From what I'm seeing,
mhm,
it like there's a lot of good fundamentals here, okay?
mhm,
So, what exactly am I doing in lane? Because I think what you're doing is generally good. So, rather than adjusting what you're doing, I'm now going to try to draw attention to
mhm.
what you're doing. What am I doing in lane? And what item? This also pertains to like describe mechanically, like just like
Mhm,
literally what you did there is what I mean.
mhm,
Like I'm pulling aggro, I'm CSing. Like
mhm.
are you stunning the Wraith King in order for your 4 to attack him and harass him? Or are you bullying the carry? It's like these are things that you could be doing, right?
Yeah,
Not saying you
right.
should be doing them, but like what I'm saying is, from what I witnessed in the lane, I like what you're generally doing. So you have what I would say is a pretty good sense of what you're supposed to be doing given the
Mm,
situation. So now
yep.
I want your items to be optimal based on that. So I would probably go boots first or belt of strength first. It just depends on, in certain lanes, it's like, do you think the move speed's more important when it comes to aggroing, or do you
Mhm,
think the 6 damage and durability is more important um,
mhm.
from belt to strength? So I think in like if this was like an Ursa, then you would probably go boots. If this is
Right.
with the lane it's in right now, you're probably going belt of strength. And the whole idea is you're just getting more important items faster. And the reason that we get these small items like full wand, full bracer, is because we need it right now to accomplish what we're doing. And it's like those are like trading,
Yeah.
consistently fighting items. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. So I think what like one of my biggest flaws as well is I build items like based on like the SOP, like okay, the first item is bracer, then threads, then
Mm,
magic wand, I just follow these steps,
yeah,
it's like
absolutely.
yeah,
There's a lot of people that do this. So the thing is for some people, it's really good for them to follow a guide, because like in terms of items, because I think
yeah,
items are one of the last things that people should work on. Like if
okay,
you're not pulling aggro, or you're playing the lane, in my opinion, like mechanically poorly, then items should come last. Like I think items are after you're now playing the lane generally correct. Okay. So what
right,
I'm
yeah,
seeing is
got it.
a general level of correctness in your laning that I think is good enough that we actually want to draw attention to your items now. So every coaching session, I'm trying to give people questions that I don't think they're asking. So right now, at least in my initial impression, which is usually I've found to be
Yeah,
pretty, like, people tell you a lot about how they lane in like the first 3 minutes. Like
mhm,
I'll learn a lot about how somebody lanes. So, from what I've seen in your first 3 minutes of laning, I don't need to teach you any questions about what to do. I just need to teach
Yeah.
you some questions to help you line up your items because you're doing the right thing, generally speaking. So now we can get you thinking about items, and I can assume that you're kind of just following a guide because Bracer doesn't make sense in this lane. And so if you're
Yeah.
still buying it, it likely means that you're just it could be something else, but it likely means that you're just following a guide. And that's fine. Like item guides are great when you're like newer to a hero or there's other things that you're trying to focus on. So like right now it's like I see pretty good lane mechanics, pretty good understanding of how you're supposed to play the lane. Now where items come in is really becoming consciously aware of what we're doing in the lane. Like, so the first step to that is just like, yeah, I am defensively aggroing and CSing. Now, I want to start categorizing items from the laning phase for which items do that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep. Yep.
what items on my given hero allow me to do that? So, like, on DK, just going straight treads. You know, on Mars, it's likely that you're going straight phase boots, perhaps, or maybe one bracer because you don't have as much sustain as DK. You're more likely to get at least one bracer on Mars. And then, like, for Axe, you know, if you're just CSing and pulling aggro, you're likely, like, I mean, right now the current build is to rush Helm Dom, but I also understand if you just don't want to do that. Because it's probably not going to be meta in a bit. But the whole idea is like Axe doesn't really need items for that. Maybe straight boots. He doesn't really need items to do that plan. But the whole idea is that every hero you're playing, as long as you're consciously saying, this is what I'm doing, and I think this item is good for that, then that's going to take you in a good direction over time. Does that make sense?
Right. Yep.
Cool.
Yep. Right.
Sweet.
Cool.
So that's my main thing for your laning phase, because I do think you're doing just generally like you contested the pull, you're pulling aggro away, you're not really fighting them, you're keeping the lane outside of tower. You know, you're correctly playing defensive aggro passive when your Clockwork's not really laning with you. You're not getting caught out of position based on lane equilibrium. You're attacking the creeps forward when there's like 2 range creeps. There's like a lot of like I'm just identifying, you know, this is what I see you doing. These are good things. So let's not worry too much about individual mechanics. I actually think all of this stuff you're doing is great. So I'm just gonna leave it there and let's just get your items in check there. Okay. Yeah, so interestingly enough, I understand this, but if I don't have the ability to click them because my 4 is not doing much, I'm definitely maxing this.
Okay.
If I feel like I'm in control of... Okay, so now also match that to your skills. Oh, max. I meant match. So if I'm pulling aggro and farming and I'm Axe, I'm maxing spin, right? If I'm like trying to bully the carry and be aggressive, I'm maxing battle hunger. If I'm Mars and I'm trying to play for kills, then I'm probably taking a second point in spear at level 3. If I'm purely playing for pulling aggro and farming, I'm probably taking a second point in God's Rebuke at level 3. Do you see what I mean?
Yep, yep.
So this is this kind of stuff that we now just need you to tune in and really gain that conscious awareness of what you're already doing, such that your items and skills match what you're doing. Your skills here would be fantastic if you were consistently clicking the Wraith King or consistently clicking the Lion. This would be a good skill build. You know what I mean? But it's not a good skill build when you're defensively aggroing and, you know, putting a second point in Breathe Fire at level 3 is fantastic for getting every single range creep, right? It's just like you're going from 80 to 160. And so yeah, that's how I view this lane. And I wouldn't often get baited by the way my Clockwork's playing, because like if we rewind this, right? You know, he's literally not helped you at all pretty much this entire lane. This is no flame. This is just how it is. He hasn't really helped you at all. So in this case, the less my support's helping me, the more passive I'm going to play. So I'm dialed in right now. Like I'm thinking I have 2 points in Breathe Fire. Everything I do is like pulling aggro defensive, unless I'm like full HP and like everything's dandy. And then somehow this Wraith King finds himself at half HP. then maybe I'll flip the switch. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But you're like flipping the switch by going aggressive on him
Yeah. So this is
because
kind of too much, right?
yeah, it is too much, and my opinion on why this happens to most people is because they are not keenly aware. Like you're doing the right things, but you're not as aware of what you're doing and why. So what happens is when you're doing the right stuff and then something chaotic happens, if you're not keenly aware of what you're doing and why, you will be swayed.
I just tend to follow. Yeah, I just tend to follow the flow, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're losing track of the flow right here. Is exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
So
that always happens to me. It's like something happens, then I like, oh shit, this happens, so I need to like react.
Reset. Yeah. Oh yeah. React. Yeah. For sure.
React to that, but my reaction is like mostly wrong, I guess. Like
so what I'm
sometimes it leads to a death or something.
Yeah. So okay. I think I'm gonna give you something that helps a lot here. So first off, I've already said it a few times, but I'll say it again. If we ignored what Clockwork was doing in this lane, I just generally really liked all the little mechanics things you're doing. You can test the small camp. You played passive when you're supposed to. You kept the lane right in front of your tower really well. Like you did mechanically concepts that I often have to teach people that are 3K. Like I have to teach them like some of them. You know what I mean? But so I didn't have to teach you any of those. So that's great. I already see you doing it. Now, what's happening here is when you understand clearly what is linking all of your actions, meaning I'm playing for CS and chilling, and I'm playing for efficiency, and I'm playing for later timings because there's no timing right now. Like, this is what you realize if you're thinking about it. Like, I'm playing for later timings. I'm looking for, like, I'm probably putting 3 points breathe fire because I need them for lane. And then after I get ulti, I'm going to start maxing my passive because I no longer need a 4th point in breathe fire. Do you know what I'm saying? Like at that point, I'm now like jungling or pressuring towers or whatever. But for the early game, I need to get to level 6. And because I don't really have a support, I'm at least taking a 2nd point in breathe fire, maybe a 3rd, right? And that just purely depends on what's happening in the first 5 or 6 minutes. But if you're aware of this, when you see all of the stuff going on around you, you're not going to think, what do I do now? The first question you'll ask yourself is, does this match my plan? Does this, like when chaos happens, does this match my plan? That's the first question you need to like trigger yourself to ask. So like when your Clockwork goes in like that, ask myself, does that match the way I've been playing the lane? Like that needs to happen in like a second. Does this match? No. Yeah. Passive.
No. Okay.
Does this match? Yes. Go. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
If we can get you filtering your response through that question of first developing keen awareness of your plan, because your plan is good, then having the filter be, does whatever I'm seeing match my plan? So an example would be, in the mid game, I'm really strong and I want to fight. And you see your teammates doing something kind of weird. And you're like, does that match me being strong and wanting to fight? Is that a place I want to fight? Is that a fight I want to take? You know what I'm saying? So as long as you're aware of what you're doing, then you'll respond much better to what's happening around you. So I think what we're probably going to see throughout the entire course of this game, and it actually makes sense based on your questions that you came in with. Just a reminder to people watching, the questions are, when do I leave lane? When do I join my cores? How do I know I'm strong enough? Which lane do I head to based on the game state? A lot of these things are reacting to things. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's I think we've kind of found the thread of what links most of your problems. Is you probably have a really good baseline for how to do things, and then you get easily deterred and reactionary to things that are happening in the game. So that's what we need to address. We have a good base, but we now need to have the discipline to keep it. Okay, so I like that example. You're like full HP and your Clockwork's tanking the damage. I liked that one. That was a good one. And you didn't miss any CS to do it, so that's like, I like that one. Okay. Oh, so you take a second point and breathe fire now. Interesting. Okay. Okay. So my idea here is that you have still been playing for farm this entire time. Like,
Yes.
this has not changed. So then we just ask ourselves, does this look like it's playing for farm?
Yeah. No.
So
Yeah, no, okay, right. At this point, my intention was because I saw the Wraith King at 5, so I thought I wanted to like kill him before he got 6. But then I realized after the Creep Wave died, he got 6. Then I thought like, okay, I'm fucked.
I totally get that. So I think that's a really cool play. Okay, like meaning in theory that's a very cool play.
Yeah.
And in the long run, it's like meaning much later on in your Dota career, meaning like when you're like 5K, 6K, those type of timing hitting is going to be really important. Meaning like
Right.
that's kind of what breaks the tie as you go higher and higher, that you're hitting smaller and smaller timings. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's not a bad thing what you just said. What I'm trying to say is that I'm showing you that this doesn't match your plan and that there are generally exceptions for this doesn't match my plan and I can capitalize. Like this is an example like, oh, he's level 5 like and I just hit level 6. I have a really small window where I can kill him. You know what I mean? Like that's what I mean by there are exceptions in the game of Dota 2. But whenever I'm trying to teach somebody to operate under a new rule, every rule has exceptions. Whenever I'm trying to teach somebody to act under a new rule, I try to tell them to blanket apply the rule to everything until you feel like you are doing it subconsciously. Like, I'm in fire mode, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, my items match. Once you do that, you can look for exceptions. Do you see what I mean?
Yep.
So, this is an example of a 3K player trying to make like a 9K play, and it's really cool in theory. Really cool in theory. So there's and on paper it's going to work, and maybe even 70% of the time this does work. Like meaning it might even be a statistically good play, but I still don't want you doing it because it's going to get in the way in the short term of you being consistent about sticking to your plan. So like if we're sticking to the plan here, you know, I've got 6. I see that it's 7 minutes that my clockwork is getting the wisdom shrine. I'm going to walk up here and I'm going to breathe fire these 2 creeps and then I'm going to ult and kill these camps.
All right.
That's what matches my plan. Do you see what I mean?
Yep.
Okay. So a lot of this is like if your 4 has been hyper aggressive in the lane and he's been catching the lion out of position and you guys are running at them nonstop, then yes, do this exact thing when you get 6. Right? It matches what you've been doing. But in this case, we're going against the grain and it's sometimes good, but we need you to stop doing it for now. And what I've tried to tell people is I really think up until like 5K, 6K, maybe even higher, Dota's just so much about being incredibly consistent. You don't need to make cool plays. Cool plays will naturally happen through consistency. You'll just show up into fights and own people. You know, like that's because you're going to have more net worth than them. You're making better decisions than them. And you can make some cool plays. So what's happening here is we're, once again, every stage of the game, we're just going to talk about, does this match the game plan? And we're just going to see that. So like later on in the game, like there's different ways to evaluate the game plan. We're going to talk about it swapping. We're going to talk about, you know, things you're doing that do or do not match the game plan. So this one just sucks because, you know, now there's 4 heroes in your lane. Yeah, your game's like kind of ruined now. Like you've died a 4th time. You know, let's think about it. If you stuck to the farm plan, you wouldn't have had the second death, the one where you tried to help the clockwork. You wouldn't have had that death where you tried to go on them. And if you didn't try to go on them, this fight bottom probably wouldn't be happening because instead of your tower being pressured, you're just chilling down here farming. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I get it.
we now have three avoidable deaths, and it's not meant to rub it in your face like, you suck. It's meant to show you if we just stick to the farming, none of this would have happened. Like, so we're trying to show like this is the cost of not sticking to the plan. Okay, so let's see. Now we're doing the plan. Okay, yeah. We could also even consider buying ourselves a sentry for that big camp if it's not there, but I'm not sure if they farmed it. That would have been earlier though. Like at this point, it's probably too late to buy a sentry. Okay, we're doing the plan now. This is good. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Passive farming and your team, like you positioned yourself quite well. That was really good. Like you kind of baited them there. You were farming, you played discipline, your team showed up. Sometimes your team doesn't show up and you escape the gang. Sometimes your team shows up and you kill them. Great, whatever. We can't control what our team's going to do. Okay, so that was like best case scenario, your team showing up and killing them. So yeah, with the Mask of Madness, I think you're missing out on some ancients here. So you do this. You're gonna... So like, for me, what's the farm plan? Is it to hang out near the Clockwork and the Undying, or is it to go kill these ancients? Right?
Ideally would be the ancients, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, I think would be maximizing my farm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you asked when do you leave lane. My question is, at what point on this particular hero in this particular game are you done farming? Not done farming as in you're never farming again, but now you can do more than just farm. When is that?
When I get my blink.
Okay. Very straightforward. Fantastic. Very straightforward. So until then, you're in farm mode. So what happens is, if a fight breaks out right here, when you're heading from here to here to here, great. Participate and kill them. But don't farm here to here, and then instead of going to your next farm, sit here. You see what I mean?
Yeah. So it's like it's like a small thing that I've wasted like probably like 5 to 10 seconds.
It's you can think of it as time, but you can also just think ancient camps are like 180 gold and like 300 XP or something. So it's more like I'm missing 180 gold. That's how I'd look at it, because the camp you're missing is this one. So the thing for me is that it is important to have a general idea of, yeah, you died this many times. Yeah, you missed these camps. But what I want you to see is you already know when your hero goes off of farm mode. So when you're in farm mode, I'm now trying to help you define what it means to be in farm mode. What it means to be in farm mode is there's no easily accessible farm, so then I participate in fights. Or there's a fight that's literally happening in the middle of my farming. Like, I'm walking from here to here, and I want to go here, and there's a fight breaking out right here. You know what I mean? Like, so I just go to it because it's in the middle of my farming. So if that's what I think is farming mode. So what we want to do in Dota is create as crisp, clean, disciplined decision making. So what happens here is if you finish this camp and then a fight breaks out here, you're there. Because you're farming and you're done farming because it's it's not, the 14-minute mark hasn't hit yet. So it's not disrupting your farming. So when you're in farming mode, I'll just ask you in the game, like, what mode are you in? Farm or fight? When does that change? Is it an item, a cooldown, a teammate power spike? Sometimes, like, say you have blink, but you need an Ursa to follow you up, so you need his blink too. Something like that. Is what I mean. Okay. So we want that to match. We want all of this to make sense. And the DK form time is very precious because you farm like 5 times faster during DK form. So this is an example where what happened here. You finish a creep wave, and then you don't have form right now, and you TP to a fight. This is great. Fight happening near your tower. You just finished a creep wave. You're like, I see an opportunity. Do you see how this is in the middle of your farm while the other one's not? This one's great. This one's a good example. You know, it's good to decipher. Like, you probably have a good idea of what you're supposed to be doing. Like, your general decision making is pretty solid. Like, you have a good sense of how to play the lane. Good sense of that's a really nice TP to show up to the fight. Didn't look forced at all. You finished the creep wave first. These are like good general fundamentals. Okay, so you have a blink now. Nice. Okay. Hog. Okay. So. Okay. Yeah, this is fine. There's shit happening. What's really interesting to me is that I can see how you kind of got baited into pursuing, but I would want to look at the situation and think they're respawning in 5 or 6 seconds. And we're now kind of in retreat mode. Anything I do is to help this guy get away. And there's a lot going on here that makes that a difficult decision. Because I kind of had this uneasy feeling when you blinked on the co-op. Like, I didn't really like it, but it's gonna even take me some time to process why I didn't like it. So, you know, in hindsight 2020, it's easy to say, like, yeah, it didn't really go well, here's why. But what I'm saying is that the things that I'm looking at that made me feel uncomfortable is that your carry's not here. That's first and foremost. The fight broke out like 30 seconds ago, so the people that died at the start are coming back soon. And the dream for me on DK is to like kill 2 heroes with my ulti like this and then go farm for the rest of my ulti. Like, that's the dream. Like, so right now, what I also saw is really impactful, efficient farm, which is right here. Right? We have an entire wave, and then we could do like this, and we get to like our whole, like half of our next item. And so, this is an example of, I don't need you to make the right decision right here. It's more that when fights happen, what was the moment that you were supposed to turn on disengage mode?
Disengage mode.
Yeah, disengage mode. There's a lot of different ways to disengage. Like sometimes it's just everybody blinking away and TPing. Sometimes it's like escorting a guy who's getting slowed and shit. Like in this case, like he's getting slowed and shit. You kind of have to help him out. Like, you can't blink away. Like, if this is like a faceless void, then you just get away yourself and you trust that he's going to time walk. You know what I mean? But like with a tanky guy getting slowed, then disengage mode is like, okay, let's escort Mr. President away. I'll probably like hit these lane creeps as he's walking away, sort of thing. I'm not going to leave him behind. So the main emphasis here is that there always is a moment that disengage mode is supposed to be turned on. And it's not particularly easy to identify it, even with all the time in the world. What I find to be really interesting about these thought experiments that I'm doing with you guys, like when I do these coaching sessions, is I knew this was the moment. But in the moment, I wouldn't have been able to tell you why. Like, but that's because I've thought about this like a bajillion times. You know, like, it's not like I'm a super genius that's able to see things you can't see. So what I believe is that this is when does disengage mode turn on? So what you can do is you can watch your own fights back in the future, like after this coaching session, and know that BSJ is going to want me to look for that moment that I could have known to disengage. What are some common factors? So one thing you'll have to do is kind of put your eyes on a swivel, like your eyes are going to have to look around and gather some quick information. So even having the composure in fights to like look up here, look down here, like that is good. That's really important mechanically to just get in the habit of trying to check these things in the middle of fights. Very difficult to like train yourself to do. But it's like, oh, respawning soon, carry's not here, lane pushed. These are all good reasons that disengage mode is turned on.
Okay, right.
So I'll just put respawn timers, ally hero position on map. Are there lanes to push? And this is assuming that a fight has broken out. It's been going on for some amount of time, 15, 20, 30 seconds, and it needs to end. At some point, it's going to end. And we got to recognize when that point is. And that's how we can minimize the amount of time that we overchase, we overstay, and we get caught up in the chaos of all of this shit.
Yeah.
Because yeah, there's so many things going on here. And it seems like you've bought into it, but I'm just emphasizing one more time that all that matters is you keep asking yourself these questions, and you will get better at it. Like that's just all there is to it. It's a slow but sure fix that will help you over time, day by day. Do you have any questions about anything I've said about this?
Nope. I'm clear.
Cool. Sick, man. Awesome. My general thought is that the more you ask yourself a question, the faster you can answer it, and it just becomes a subconscious habit that you're not even like, I now have to think about how to describe it to you. You know what I mean? Because like I don't critically think about this anymore because it just happens. But I had to critically think about it for a very long time. Okay. Okay. So. Okay.
Yep.
What would you say is your role in fights right now?
My role, I think, would be to get a stun off and do as much damage during the stun and not die. I think the most important thing is not dying, because if I don't die, I could have land a second stun and deal more damage.
Okay. So on your team, here's a generally good question. Are fights more likely to start with you jump stunning somebody, or are they more likely to start with somebody on your team getting initiated onto? Why?
I think for this particular game, I think it goes both ways, because they have like a punch hook, they have like a like but I think it's more likely that me jump stunning somebody.
If you jump stun them, what's going to happen to you?
They are all gonna jump on me, and I'm gonna die, I think.
You're going to get Viper Striked and be fucking useless.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
So would you like to stick to your statement that a fight should start with you blink stunning somebody?
No.
Okay.
I think.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think if I jump somebody, I'll get Viper Strike, and Lion Stun and some shit like that.
If you go first, are you ever blink stunning hitting somebody in this game? Right now, with the current items you have on the hero you're playing.
There's a chance I would not, because there might be a Lion. If he's good, he would like insta hex me or something like that.
So the only person you can blink stun is a person that you have the information that they are alone.
Yeah.
Like you literally see 3 or 4 heroes on the map and you see a Lion. And you're like, I can go blink stun that guy, or I can go blink stun this Quap or whatever, because you literally see everyone else. There are so many heroes on their team that prevent you from blink stun hitting. Yep. You have Viper Strike, Pudge Hook, Lion Hex, even like Quap, Blink, Dagger screaming you, like that sucks too. So what I'm trying to say is that a lot of times people don't make this distinction. They think it is my job to blink stun people, but we need to be more specific. Yeah. What happens in this game when you blink stun somebody, right? You're fucked. You're never blink stun hitting somebody if you go first in this game. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So what needs to happen then? What that means for us is something else has to happen first. Like meaning we're talking about generally speaking,
Like a fight has to like start first, then I go in.
yeah.
Correct?
So like
something like
a fight does have to start first, but it's more like just generally speaking, something else has to happen first.
Yeah, right.
We don't know. There's a million things it could be. There's a bajillion heroes in this game, like in the game of Dota 2. So if we're talking generally theoretically, I first want to envision what happens if I go first. Because you're an offlane player playing Mars, Axe, and DK. So this is like a very relevant question. Because it is potential that you go first. Right?
Yeah.
So like what happens if I go first? And so the thing that is also missing is you don't have quick follow-up. You don't have a Blink Ursa. You don't have a Storm or a Quap or like a Hoodwink. Like something that's going to stun or like follow up your stun with burst. Like you don't have that.
Yeah.
You see, so first off, you can be like, okay, well, nobody's going to get stun bursted except for if Weaver's right there. Like that's the only way. So then, but Weaver is going to get there fast, but like the stun will probably be over unless he's already on top of them when the stun happens. So then I'm like, well, ideally I would like to stun them around Weaver. So I'm going through these motions of like, okay, I can't blink stun first. Who would I like to be near when I stun? Okay, who on my team? Okay, if I'm not going first, what needs to happen first? Is somebody else on your team going to go first? If somebody else goes first, who is it? On your team?
Clock. I think
Clock.
it would be Clock.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Clock.
So a good fight could break out from Clock going first. It could. If he like hooks into 5 heroes and insta dies, like that doesn't necessarily mean it's good. But it could be good for sure if he goes first. If somebody on your team gets initiated onto, who do we want it to be?
Undying.
Perfect.
I guess.
So these are questions that we're asking ourselves because I'm trying to help you write a script for what a good fight looks like in this game. Like in every individual game, you can answer these questions. What happens if I go first? Okay, I can't go first. What do I need to happen first? Is it more likely that one of my teammates goes in first? Like say that Clockwork is a Hoodwink. It's like, you're the only one that's ever going to go first. So the only way for the fights to start is for them to go on you guys first. Or for somebody on their team to be alone, meaning like you have like a ward up here. You see 3 heroes over here and a lion hiding over here, and you're just like, okay, I'll blink stun kill this guy real quick. Like you have to have some sort of information that tells you it's okay to go first. But
I think this is the main cause of me like dying too much. I think like this is the main reason that I die too much in fights because I just don't think of all these things.
And that's great, man. The whole idea is that it's very complex, the game of Dota 2, but I personally find that if we give people like a thought chart, various questions in the lane, like I gave you, what mode are you in, farm or fight? It's like, I trust based on talking to you and based on watching you play, that if you correctly identify fight or farm mode and you are actually following that you will make good decisions. That all the things we saw go wrong are you going against that because you're not consciously following that. So what seems really complex is actually you've already got the knowledge to do it. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like the stuff I'm telling you now, it's a lot. It's there's a lot to consider here. And the last thing I want you or anyone to take away from this is that you're able to fix this overnight. It's like, what our goal is that you're 3K right now. We want to take you slowly but surely up in the MMR. So if your understanding of who goes first and we get you asking this question just goes slightly up every game, just a little 1% improvement. It's like, oh, I learned this game that, as DK, I can't blink in when they have a Viper. Or like, I can't blink in when they have a Ringmaster because I stun the guy and Ringmaster saves them. It's like, I learned that one recently where I'm like, okay, I not learned it per se, but I had to remind myself in the middle of the game. I'm like, stop blink stunning people who aren't ringmaster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's an example of you'll start. It's really good that you're only playing a small pool of heroes because you'll start to see heroes that make it difficult for DK, Mars, or Axe, because each matchup's different. Heroes that make it difficult for these heroes to go in first. So, you know, a lot of times we feel as an offlaner, it's our job to initiate, it's our job to start fights. But what really matters is that you have a crystal clear understanding of how fights are supposed to start, not that you start them. And that you're ready to go the fuck in at the right moment, not that you are ready to start the fight. Do you see what I mean?
Yep.
So
Got
the
it.
last thing when you're playing a blink initiator in this type of game where you're the only one that can really blink stun reliably, like Clockwork's fine, the last thing we ever want to do is play on map, showing ourselves. That's like what we don't want to do. So what I'm saying is it's not that you should never show yourself, but if you're showing yourself, you are no longer a viable initiator. So that means you are in farm mode. Do you see what I mean?
Yep.
So right now, you are in super hyper passive farm mode because you are the blink stunner who's showing. So anything you do here is farm mode passive. So then I ask, as a blink farmer, my one job, or blink stunner who's farming, my one job is to not get gone on. So if I'm making every action through I don't want to get gone on, then I just watch this and say, is that match what you're doing here? Walking blind up a hill, taking a thing that gives the opponent vision, walking up to a tower and hitting it. Are these things that say, I don't want to get gone on? What we want is our Undying doing these things in front of us. That's what we need. And if he's not doing that, then fine. Call for the team to back and TP bottom. You know what I mean? Like, just don't be the guy not doing his job. Because there's a lot of chaos that's going to happen. And so much of gaining MMR is realizing this is what I need in order to do my job. It's not happening. I can't do my job. Instead of trying to do my job anyway. Continue. Go ahead.
Yeah. So like, let's say if I have more items, like let's say I have a blink, BKB, and like something like that. Is it okay to like walk up to towers and hit them? Like if it's not, like, when do I know it's the right time? You know?
The right time is when they go on you and you think you'll win the fight. So
like, okay, like, no, my question was when do I know it's the right time to go up and hit towers?
I answered that. When they
like
will
right
go
here,
on you and you will still win a fight.
When they go on me and I still win a fight. Right.
With their heroes, if you get initiated onto, are you ever hitting?
No.
Are you ever meaningfully stunning somebody?
If I have a BKB, I might.
You might stun them and walk away. So the thing about BKB, ever since its nerf, it's not a good reactionary item.
Yeah.
It's only a good I go in and BKB. The only time BKB becomes reactionary is when you also have a satanic. It's like, I drop down to half or a fourth, and I pop BKB satanic and I turn. That's the only time that BKB is ever like a decent reactionary item on any hero ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you pop your BKB after getting initiated onto and dropping to half, 95% of the time you're running away. Like, you felt that, right? Like, you've seen that happen.
Yeah.
Right?
I've seen that many times happen.
Yeah, that's ever since BKB doesn't like fully block spells. Like, because at half HP you can still die to spells. So it feels really bad to like try to hit. So when you're asking about when do I hit towers, it's literally when I'm able to get gone on, and what's going to happen to me if I get gone on. I'm telling you, you're getting Viper Striked and not hitting a single hero. That's what's going to happen, even with BKB.
Yep.
Because they have Viper Strike that goes through BKB. So it's like, you're not going to get a single hit off, and there might be games where you win fights that way. Because you have like a Quap mid and a Ursa carry who just needs someone to tank it. You know what I mean? Like, does your lineup just need somebody to fucking tank it? They're thinking the same thing you are. And in that case, then a lot of your items are like, you know, BKB, Sanj, and Yasha, and a hurricane pike or some shit. You know what I mean? Like those are your items. But
Yeah.
like,
Like if I have someone cleaning up the fight for me, then I
yes,
can do that.
exactly, exactly. So I put in these questions. Your question is, when can you hit towers? Answer: when you can get initiated onto, and fights will go well. The thing is that that's a hard question to answer. Like, yeah, I think I can consciously get gone on here, and that's fine. That's like a very complex answer, but that's in my opinion, that's the best question because it's the only all-encompassing question. There's a lot of things that go into that question. Like you said, you need somebody else to clean up the fight for you. You need somebody else that's going to capitalize on you getting 4-man stunned, Like somebody needs to capitalize on that. And it's like, does your lineup that I'm looking at need a frontline durable guy? No, it needs a blink stunner from you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the last thing we want to be is a frontline durable guy. Because not only is it that our lineup doesn't need that, but their lineup is really good against that. They have a Viper that breaks your passive. They have Lion Burst, Quap Burst. So the answer in this game is probably fucking never.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's probably the answer. The only person who's hitting buildings is Weaver with Aegis. And you also have Pugna to kill some buildings. And you can hit buildings if they're not there. You know what I mean? Like they're somewhere else and they're trading buildings with you or something. Like that's probably the answer for this game in terms of hitting buildings.
Yep.
That's the thing I think you're probably missing, and I think it's probably pretty common in Dota players, is that your hero can blink stun, your hero can hit buildings, so you're trying to do these things.
Yeah.
But
Correct.
like, because that is an arbitrary role of your hero for sure. It's like you understand that. But now we need to add a lot more nuance and situational awareness to that approach.
Yes.
So now it's like, okay, I already know what my hero is generally supposed to do. What happens when I do that? So the question for hitting buildings is, if I get gone on, will we win the fight? Answer yes, okay, I'll hit this building. Answer no, don't hit this fucking building. If my role is to be blink stunner, what happens? Is it the first thing that happens in fights? It's like, if you have a BKB and they have nothing to deal with a BKB and you'll stun the guy and burst him, then yeah, absolutely. Be the first, my question that I asked on here is, who is the point of contact? How do fights start? So it's like, if you have blink BKB and a guy on their team, or none of their team can stun you through BKB, then it can be you. You know what I mean? But in this particular game, I would say Undying needs to get gone on first, or Clockwork needs to go in first. One of these two things needs to happen for you to have a successful fight. And it all boils down to, if I go first, what happens?
Okay.
And you want to be as specific as possible. Like, on every hero you're playing in every game. What happens? I'm going to get Viper Striked. I'm going to get Lion Hexed. That guy might even get Pudge Hooked and saved. Like, I need Weaver. Like, if I want to kill them, who needs to be there? It needs to be Weaver. So, where's he? So, that's the kind of stuff that if we get you thinking about it, you'll see these super chaotic situations and you'll handle them a bit better over time. Like, over time, it'll get better and better.
Yep.
Does that sound good to you?
Yep, good.
Okay, are we answering? Do you feel like I'm answering the questions you came into this session with?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Perfect.
Cool. Yeah, this is
right
exactly
now,
what
like,
will probably
just
happen to you if you go
yeah.
first. You just walk away with no HP. And I do believe your team needs you to hit people, so I don't think it's sufficient in this game to get gone on like that. So now we resume farm mode, which is, ironic because, a lot of people will flame their offlaner for doing this, but offlanes, you're a third core. Like, you need to be in farm mode, fight mode properly. So now we're smoking with our team. This one's okay with me. If fight breaks out ahead of time, you're not the first point of contact. This is usually going to be good. So for me, right here, with this happening, I would have ulted and cut this creep wave. It's really important that we capitalize on kills. And the way we capitalize on kills almost always is either taking objectives if all the lanes are pushed or pushing lanes. Okay. So right now, we would not want to miss a creep wave here. This is really impactful that you see this fight break out, you're ready to participate, fight's over. Farm mode. Okay. What does that mean now? Like, we want to flip that off right away. we're in disengage farm mode, right? So you'd pop your ulti, you'd clear this camp, you'd clear this wave right here, you'd probably go back this way and finish your BKB. That's probably what we would do. But now we're hanging out with the team, not farming our BKB. Yeah, so now we're taking a fight where we blink stun a Wraith King, with no BKB. So we're not being nearly patient enough, right? Just in fights in general, we're not like it's obviously the same problem. You didn't have time to fix this in the middle of the game.
Yeah,
So,
I just kind of like, okay, I see someone and I just gonna jump on them.
Yeah. Yeah. I see that. Okay. So everything for you, I think, if I'm summing up, because I've given you a decent amount of questions, this applies all game. Am I in fight or farm mode? If in farm mode, when is fight mode? If in fight mode, when do I look to farm again?
Okay.
Like, it's really like for me, if you're aware that these two modes are happening, consciously swapping them, then these fights won't even happen because you'll be finishing your BKB top, and if a fight breaks out, you're like TPing to it with a BKB. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like rather than talking specifically about your team, about your decision to go on Wraith King there, it's more like, I think the more relevant thing is you didn't turn fight mode back on, or you didn't turn fight mode off right here, and clear creep wave here, go back here, farm it up, finish your BKB. That's what I would have wanted to see there.
Yeah. So I think this also answer my question, like initially where I said that this game dragged on too long.
Yeah.
To like an hour. So like if I could have like fixed this small details, I could have gotten my like items earlier and I could have taken better fights. This game would have been over like, much earlier, right?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. For me, every unnecessary death, in my experience, unless I'm getting absolutely carried, extends the game by like 5 minutes.
Because I kind of look at this game and I thought like my Weaver is like 22-3, like he's 22-3 by the end of the game. So I thought like I'm the one being heavy, like he's actually doing something. So I'm thinking, yeah, maybe I could have done something better here or there or somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, it's the cool thing about this game is that, I mean, I would actually like to move on to your other game just to make sure we cover it a little bit, because we've got about 10, 15 minutes left. But when I look at this game, this is a classic example of you trying to do your job more than the capabilities of your hero allows. Like, you're like, I've got this job, I got to do it, rather than thinking from the base of what are the capabilities of my hero to do its job this game.
Right.
So there's like, for me, it's like, there's like a sliding scale of, I know exactly what my hero's job is. 10 out of 10 means I can just face roll the keyboard and do my job. Like, I'm a blink stunner, I can just blink stun every guy I see. That's like a 10 out of 10. A 1 out of 10 is like, I literally have to buy items to like help my teammates because my hero can't do its fucking job. Like, that's a 1 out of 10. I would say this game, you're at like a 3 or a 4. It's like, your hero can kind of do its job, but it's definitely not straightforward and you can't go first. So it's like a 3 or a 4. Can't really hit buildings. You can't really go first in fights. So, but you can still build for yourself because it's not that bad of a DK game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One is like, you're against literally fucking like Viper, Ursa, and something else, and you're never fucking hitting in your life, and you have to go like fucking like Yule's ether lens and shit like this. Like that sounds like trash, but like or like maybe you go strength blink in an Octarine and you just play around your ulti or whatever. Like, the point is you have to get real fucking weird about it. Because your hero just can't it can't function as is. But yeah, those games are super situational. I'd say the majority of games fall between like 3 to 7. And it sounds like, from what I'm witnessing, you're kind of just on a 10 all the time. Like, I do my job. I hit towers, I blink stun people. So we need to add nuance to that. Do you understand what a 10 looks like? Now you need to start like subtracting points based on what's happening in the game, basically.
Yeah.
Lower it to a 9, to an 8, stuff like that. Okay. I'm gonna Yeah, so we'll spend a little bit of time on this game just to see if there's any quick other takeaways we can have here. Out of the questions you initially asked, was there one that you feel like I skipped or that you'd like to touch on before we begin?
No, actually, I think it's all good because you've basically like given me a general game plan that I should follow. That which if I follow, I think I would have personally answered all of the questions that
Nice.
that I've asked you. I think
Sounds good, man.
like yeah.
But you said you're 3K MMR. I see Ancient here. That's not
Yeah,
3K.
it's actually I'm my main is 3K, but I'm on my friend's account, which is ancient.
Ah,
So like right here, I'm queuing with my friend who is divine. Yeah,
ah. So you're reverse smurfing right now.
yeah, reverse perfect.
I see. I mean, laning fundamentals are just generally pretty solid. Like in this lane, It's funny because in this lane, I would prioritize Bracer, full wand, and a belt of strength, and then I would start taking points in this because I'm hitting this Finn a
Uh,
lot, and I
right.
would try to sit on top
Okay.
of the creep wave, hitting him. So I actually like your item build here.
Uh,
Um, funnily enough, I mean, I think the second point breathe fire is actually probably fine. Um, you are using it a little bit too much on creeps, I would say. Like, I think you actually could
yeah.
have bullied
Okay.
this Finn a bit harder. Uh, but when you're full HP like this, I would actually want
Mm,
you to be standing like right here.
okay.
So I think generally, where exactly are you placing yourself in the wave is definitely really relevant for you.
Okay.
I think like right
So
now
like
you're just
if
way
like
stronger than this
if the
guy.
Sven if the Sven comes up, so I get to hit him, is it right?
Basically, the idea is that if you're weaker than him, what would you do?
Uh, right.
I'm asking
I
you.
should stand. I should stand back. Like
If
I should stand as far away.
think
Right.
of okay, I'm going to lead you to the answer. In the last game, when you had no help from your clock and you were weaker than the
Mm,
lane, what did you do?
I should farm mode. Like should only
You
go in when there's a last hit,
and
right?
what else did you do to get last hits? What was the mechanic you
Uh
used?
uh creep
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 aggro.
aggro.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you need to stand where he will walk into 500 range of creeps.
Right.
You need to anticipate that if you're stronger than him, his only good play is to aggro.
Uh,
So you need to stand where he would aggro from while the creeps are not dying. Does that make sense?
yes.
So like if
Yes.
we rewind to the situation after it was like right after the Lotus, his only play here is to defensive aggro. If he doesn't do it, he's not doing it. But like we
Uh,
would stand right here because that's where he would walk up to defensive aggro.
yeah.
So we would stand where he's going to aggro and then go back for creeps. I mean, he didn't do it, but the whole idea is that that's his
Yeah.
only good play, so we need to punish him if he tries to do it.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I mean, this is them trying to fight you and not working. Fantastic. Okay. Okay. Mm. Okay, so you're gonna get 6 like right now. Or now, when do you get 6? Get 6. Get the kill there. Why don't you kill this camp? Do you remember?
Why don't I finish this camp?
Yeah.
It's because I thought of the lane creeps, and lane creeps give me more XP and more gold, I
What
guess.
lane creeps? Where are they?
Yeah. They're coming
Yeah, but are they here yet?
soon. No.
Yeah, where are you going? What is this? Where are you going?
Uh,
Lane creeps are right here. They just showed up. That was
yeah.
15 seconds after that. Like right now, when you're
Yeah.
hitting, they show up 13 seconds from now.
Uh,
I think there's 2 correct plays here. One is to farm here and take the junk. Everything when you are in the enemy carry are generally on an island like this. Both heroes generally get the wave, and it's all about who gets these 2 camps. So that's actually the high priority, is whoever yoinks the camps first. That's always the highest priority. If you are on an island with the carry, meaning it's you and him up here, that's like all that matters. So your whole idea is, how do I get these jungle camps before him? And if I have a flash farming capability like DK does, I need to do it and get creeps in the lane. And the most important part about this, I feel like this is just universally not done, is neutral items, people. These things are worth so much.
Yeah.
They're worth so much gold. If you think about it, it's like sometimes you get fucking 20 damage or 17 damage from that shit. Sometimes you get like 10 damage, 10 attack speed. Like sometimes you get a fucking item that gives you a tango every 30 seconds. Like this shit adds up a lot. So on top of that, the two options you have here are to win this island thing. I actually think the best play is to clear this camp, or maybe not even clear it, to actually go mid right now. Because the reason why it's particularly good is there's a fight going on bottom and their mid's dead. Yeah. So by TPing here, you're going to get a creep wave, same amount of farm, and you're actually going to like take this tower down to like 1/3 HP, probably.
Yeah.
So for me, I think you're missing a huge opportunity. I feel like for side laners, when the other side lane has a fight, it's so good to TP mid and push it in a lot of scenarios. In worst case scenario, you like hit this tower down to like 1/3 HP, and then you just walk back top. You know what I mean? Like you just go back to what you were doing. So I'm gonna save these moments because I want to. It's really good that I have an offlaner that was supposed to do this too. This is 9:20. Formula is fight in other side lane, mid empty. It's even more empty because the mid's dead. You know, I feel like this has happened in a lot of my coaching sessions with carry players. I haven't had too many offlane coaching sessions recently, but that would have been a really powerful move by you. And if you had stayed, you would want to be farming the camp. So that's like a big inefficiency there. Yeah, your number one priority up here, starting as early as possible, is to start clearing both of these camps and the wave. And then the tower comes next. Doesn't matter what hero you're playing. Do you know what I mean?
Yep, got it.
So what happens is you clear things faster and faster because you're getting more levels, more items, and then eventually you expand from lane to here, and then eventually you clear both these camps and the waves, and you have time to hit the tower. The only exceptions to this is when people gank for you, like people show up in your lane. You know what I mean? Like there's just more people here. But like there's like a rinse and repeat priority rhythm where there's nothing happening in your lane, and this is the rhythm. But you seem to be prioritizing lane creeps and tower over clearing the 2 jungle camps and the lane creeps, which is, in my opinion, just strictly wrong.
Okay.
Like it's just suboptimal, I think is the better description word there. Yeah. So for me, I don't want to overcomplicate things. I think we've given you a lot. I think we've got a lot to think about here. And I think in this particular
Yeah.
game, when you had a better lane, it was more apparent just how inefficient you tend to be between 5 to 10 minutes. So I think that's the main takeaway is when you're having a closer, better lane, that you would do that. I think in this particular game, I know you said in your notes that you become more, you struggle in the mid game. Oddly
Yeah.
enough, I
Yeah.
think it's actually your job to be the point of contact here until Medusa gets 2 items. So I would actually likely build to go like 1 durability item, probably like Dragonlance into
Uh-huh.
BKB. I would probably go
Okay.
like Dragonlance BKB Blink. Because
Okay.
I think for the first 20 minutes of the game, it's your job to be the point of contact, not the stunner. And then once the Medusa is the point of contact, you're then the stunner. Does that make sense?
Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I get it. Because they they would be jumping on us, is it? Right?
There's nobody else on
Uh,
your team that is willing to get gone on, and they have
yeah.
Mag Disruptor.
Uh-huh. Right.
So I actually need to make myself somebody to get gone on.
Yeah. Okay.
That's how I would look at this game. If your carry is more active in the mid game, then Blink makes sense.
Uh,
But when you
right.
have a carry that just wants somebody else to draw attention to themselves for the first 20 minutes of the game, then we have to ask ourselves, how does our hero draw attention to itself? And for me, it's walking at buildings and being hard to kill. That's because they have so much catch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what
Yeah.
I would do. Something like that would be my approach. A lot of times people flame like, where's my offlaner's blink? But if you understand your role in the game, then you'll do things correctly, and that's fine. Like you'll have a late blink, and your teammates may get mad at you or whatever, but you can't do anything about that. So that's how I would play this
Yeah.
game. My
Okay.
goal would be
Okay.
to be up in their face, clearing these camps as much as possible, killing this tower, and then like walking mid and having it be really hard to kill me as I do that. That would be my goal.
Okay.
And there's no other item in the game than BKB against like Necro Disruptor. And like the only thing that actually kills you through BKB is Jakiro Ags and Sven with like 4 items, and that's not going to happen for a while. And then at the later stage of the game, your BKB is going to be, something you press right when you blink in or whatever. And yeah, it'll be really powerful in a different way. Like early on, it's like you can't kill me, haha. Later on, it's okay. This allows me to hit people, kind of thing, and do my job. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yep.
Sick, man.
Makes sense.
Any
Yeah.
final questions for the session?
Nope. I think I've got things pretty clear.
Cool, man. Just be cool.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Okay.
That's his name, everybody. I'm making a stupid pun. Yeah, man. Thanks for joining me. I hope you had a nice time.
All right.
I'll
All right.
see you
All
around.
right. All right. Thank you. All
Peace.
right. Thank you.